Munetaka Murakami. We all know him, we all love him. Breaking records not just for the White Sox, but for the MLB as a whole. Tying the MLB rookie record by homering in 5 straight games in April of this year, and breaking the record for most home runs by a Japanese rookie in MLB history. There's a reason why he came into the league with so much fanfare, and you can credit his electric time in the NPB as a part of Tokyo's Yakult Swallows. To not get too much into the nitty-gritty of it all, to understand a little bit about his former team, the Swallows were founded in 1950, and they play in the NPB Central League, where they won 6 Japan Series titles and 9 Central League pennants. They're known as the perennial underdogs compared to the crosstown rivals, the Yomiuri Giants. And funny enough, much like how the White Sox are seen against the Cubs. And yes, I know that the Yomiuri Giants are seen as the Yankees of Japanese baseball. I just don't think the Swallows could ever be as bad as the Mets. Murakami set the single season home run record for a Japanese-born player in the NPB by hitting 56 home runs in 2022. And he also holds the NPB record for hitting home runs in 5 consecutive at-bats. He also won the Central League Triple Crown in 2022 at just 22 years old, becoming the youngest and 8th overall winner in NPB history. Now, how does this connect to Left 4 Dead? In Left 4 Dead 2, in order to kill a tank with a bat on Expert mode, you would need to land 20 consecutive hits. Tanks on Expert have about 8,000 health, so you're getting about 400 damage or so per swing. And you also gotta take into account the swing speed here. So let's say all 8 survivors here are somehow all equally as gifted. The average human is swinging at like 50 to 65 miles per hour. The MLB average swing speed is obviously above that at 71 to 72 miles per hour. Murakami in 2022 was an overall elite power hitter. His peak swings were at like 80 plus miles per hour. His mass exit velocities were clocking at like 115 to 117. This guy is substantially above average human and even above the typical MLB levels. Kinetic energy scales with the square of velocity. So you're looking at kinetic energy equals 1/2 mv squared, with m being the mass of an object and v being the velocity or speed. A jump from a conservative average human is about 55 to 60 miles per hour compared to Murakami's 75 to 80 mile per hour range is a 1.25 to 1.45 times speed multiplier. That yields roughly 1.6 to 2.1 times or more kinetic energy and or impact force. Melee damage in games is obviously not based on real world physics, but if we scaled the effective damage per swing by that energy ratio, Murakami's hits would each do substantially more damage. So instead of 20 hits, Murakami is looking at roughly 9 to 13 hits with that said damage multiplier, but you're looking at closer to the 5 to 8 hits if he's using the higher end of his observed power. He would also likely swing with better technique and consistency. So to answer the question, would Prime Munetaka Murakami be able to one-shot a tank on Expert mode? The answer is no, but he would do substantially more damage to that tank. So even though we're past that era in the MLB, in the Left 4 Dead world, he's probably swinging that shit like Barry Bonds. Imagine what guys like Sammy Sosa, Alex Rodriguez, and Manny Ramirez could do. Now, if you want to talk about guys who could possibly one-shot a tank, I think we should be looking into that.
He was whipping up anger in a kettle, festering hatred like steam out the ears, manifesting rage in a kettle. Mate, the screams, boiling wrath, rage.